The Great Uprising, page 72, 73, 74 and 75. Let me tell you in gist. Religious causes. The main causes of the uprising was the people's fear. Indians feared that the company wanted to convert them to Christianity as the Christian missionaries were too active during that time. In 1850, a law was passed that allowed the converted Christian to inherit ancestral property. This made the Indians believe that their religion was under threat, and so a large section of society got united and went against the British. Military causes. Indian sepoys were against the British oppressive rule. The sepoys were annoyed at the annexation of Awadh and feared about the threat of the religion. They had many other grievances such as Number 1. The sepoys were treated unfairly by the British officers and were paid very less. Number 2. There was limited scope for the promotion of the sepoys and couldn't rise higher than a Subedar, as all high posts were kept reserved for the British. Number 3. The act passed by the British to travel overseas if needed was opposed by the Hindu sepoys, as they believed that travel across the sea would lead to loss of caste. Number 4. The foreign service allowances was discontinued if the sepoys were sent outside the country to fight. Immediate cause. In 1857, a massive outbreak was seen against the British rule. A rifle cartridge provided a spark to set the country ablaze. Greased cartridges incident. A new rifle called the Enfield rifle was introduced. The cartridge of this rifle was covered with a greased paper wrapper which had to be bitten off before loading the cartridge into the rifle. This greased wrapper was made of cows and pigs' fat. The Hindus regarded the cows as sacred and Muslims regarded the pigs as dirty. So sepoys of both the communities were annoyed at as it was against their religious sentiment. Beginning of the uprising. Mangal Pandey was the first soldier to oppose the new cartridge. On 29th March 1857, he fired the British commander and asked others to join him to end the company rule. Soon he was arrested and hanged on 8th of April 1857. The sepoys were greatly annoyed at the hanging of Mangal Pandey. On 24th April, 85 sepoys at Meerut refused to use the cartridges. The sepoys were publicly humiliated, dismissed from service and jailed on 9th of May. On 10th of May, they raised the banner of revolt, killed British officers, released the imprisoned sepoys and set fire to the British properties. The sepoys then reached Delhi and took control over Delhi and declared Bahadur Shah Zafar as the Emperor of India. Spread of the uprising. Soon the uprising spread in northern and central India. Unrest even prevailed in places where there were no uprising. At some places, civilians joined the sepoys, while at others they helped the rebels by giving them food and water. Leaders. This uprising was led at different places by different leaders. Number 1. In Delhi, Waqt Khan led the sepoys. Number 2. In Jhansi, Rani Lakshmibai challenged the British authority. Number 3. In Kanpur, Nana Sahib proclaimed himself the Peshwa, while his troops were led by Tatya Tope and Azimullah Khan. Number 4. In Lucknow, Begum Hazrat Mahal led the uprising assisted by Maulvi Ahmadullah Shah. Number 5. In Bareilly, Khan Bahadur Khan led the sepoys. Number 6. In Bihar and Jharkhand, Kunwar Singh organized and led the uprising, suppression of the revolt. By the mid-1857, it appeared that the company's rule ended, at least in northern India. But soon they recaptured the lost territory and Delhi. Bahadur Shah was imprisoned and sent to Rangoon. Thus, the Mughal rule ended officially. The sepoys continued to fight even after losing Delhi. Waqt Khan, Rani Lakshmibai, Khan Bahadur Khan and Kunwar Singh died fighting with the British. Nana Sahib and Begum Hazrat Mahal fled to Nepal. Tatya Tope was arrested and hanged. The British used terror tactics to prevent the uprising. The sepoys were tied to the mouths of the cannon and blown off, mercifully killed the innocent civilians and even didn't spare the children. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.